guys, and welcome to Self-Love Saturdays. We are back again. It is part 1 of the 10-part series, and today I'm coming to you outside of my office here at the Junior People Foundation. So this is my desk. This is my cute little background that I have for my mentoring program. It's pink and Hello Kitty. Hello Kitty is my favorite. So this week's topic is all about confidence and self-esteem, and how I said last week what I was going to do for each part. We're going to give the topic, which I just said. We're going to give a definition, a few verses that I think will be good to help you guys. Then I'll talk about how I went through it and how I dealt with self-esteem and confidence. And then we will close out with a few tips and then a closing verse. Okay? So let's get started. So what is confidence and self-esteem? Now, as I read, I have 3 definitions for you. I have confidence, self-esteem, and self-respect. Now, if you pay attention when I'm reading them, you can see that they all intertwine together. So, let me read you the definition for confidence. Confidence is the feeling or belief that one can rely on someone or something, a firm trust. So having that confidence in, in something or somebody, having that confidence in yourself, trusting you that you are able to get the job done or whatever it may be. Just having that trust. Okay? Now, self-esteem. Self-esteem is confidence in one's own worth or abilities and having that self-respect for yourself. Self-esteem and confidence, I always say this, they go together. Period, point blank. You can't have confidence without having the good self-esteem. If you believe in yourself and you know that you can get it done, you also have that confidence in yourself and you know that you can get it done. Just like confidence and just like self-esteem. So like I said, they all go together. Self-esteem, self-respect, confidence. Self-esteem, self-respect, confidence. All go together. Point blank, period. So the verses that I wanted to point out today, it's 3 verses. And then I have a closing verse. So this is my Bible. This is my study Bible. So like I have a lot of sticky notes and marks and stuff. So the first verse I want to bring to you is Psalms chapter 46 verses 1 through 3. And then in my Bible I have a it's like a study Bible. So like with the verses, they give a few verses and then they give you kind of like an insert on like their, how can I say this? Like their opinion on what the verses were, if that makes sense. So this one is about confidence. So like I said, Psalms chapter 46 verses 1 through 3. So it says, God is our refuge and strength, always ready to help in times of trouble. So we will not fear when earthquakes come and the mountains crumble into the sea. Let the oceans roar and foam. Let the mountains tremble as the waters surge. So what was going on here was the earth was about to crumble into pieces. And basically they were saying, have that confidence in God regardless. Have confidence in knowing that regardless of what's going on, the earth may be crumbling, breaking. Have confidence in God. Everything will be okay. Same thing with you. Things may not be happening. Everything's going wrong. You know, you may be having this event. And my bracelet is making a lot of noise right now. You may be having, an event or maybe a project or whatever it may be, and nothing is going right and everything is going wrong. But having that confidence in yourself and that firm trust in yourself, knowing that it'll get done. Have confidence. Don't trip. It'll be okay. Okay? So what they said in the Bible to kind of, how can I say it? To kind of make more sense of it, I guess, or explain, that's the word. Explain what the verses were saying. They said, even in the face of utter destruction, they expressed a quiet confidence in God's ability to save them. The fear of the mountains or cities suddenly crumbling because of a nuclear blast haunts many people. Facing destruction or terrorism without fear seems impossible, right? Yet the Bible is clear. God is our eternal refuge. Even in the face of total destruction, like them, would you confidently say, we will not fear? Even if the world seems to crumble to you. So, like they were saying, if your world around you is crumbling, not literally, but figuratively, everything in your life is going wrong, will you have that trust in yourself and in that trust in God, knowing that everything will be okay, and confidently say, we will not fear? Okay? So then, the next verse is also in Psalms. I like Psalms. Psalms chapter 138 verse 8. Now this is, I have a couple verses that I say every morning to myself, and this is one of the ones that I say every morning. This verse, I love it. It motivates me when things may be going wrong, to have that confidence and know that everything will be okay. So this one says, the Lord, oh, excuse me for the noise. Okay. It says, again, Psalms chapter 138, verse 8. Lord will work out his plans for my life. For your faithful love, O Lord, endures forever. Don't abandon me, for you made me. Amazing, right? They give an explanation of this verse, and it says, David counted on God's plans for his life. Each of us made plans for our future. We work hard to see those dreams come true. But to truly make the most of life, we must include God's plans in our plans. That is so true. He alone knows what is best for us. How willing are you to submit your plans and dreams to God? So, even though this really doesn't have to do with what I'm about to say, it doesn't really have to do with the topic. I'd rather talk about this more when we talk about goals, setting goals and stuff in a couple weeks. But it is so important to remember that regardless of when you have a dream or when you have a goal that you want to do and want to set out, things will not happen unless it is on God's timing. And then when you seem to rush into it and things are going right, it's because God is not ready to take you there yet. I have to tell myself this all the time. Currently, I'm trying to work on a project right now, and I was doing research. I'm like, oh, I just want to get this done. I'm ready to get it, done. I want to, make a difference, and I feel like this project will really do that. But it takes a lot of work, right? And as I was researching, I was seeing that certain requirements that you have to have, I'm not there yet. So it's kind of like, wow, stop trying to rush it and stop trying to do it on your time when it's not on God's time. Maybe once I get those requirements, then that's the time when it needs to happen and everything will line up. You see what I'm saying? So you can't rush into it. You have to trust God. Give your plans to God. Give your dreams and your goals to Him. And let Him know, this is what I want. Is this what you want from me? And if it's what He wants for you, it'll work out. Okay? So the last verse is from Jeremiah 17:7. Okay? So this one doesn't have an explanation, but it's pretty self-explanatory once I read it. So it says, again, Jeremiah 17:7. It says, but blessed are those who trust in the Lord and have made the Lord their hope and confidence. Again, but blessed are those who trust in the Lord and has made the Lord their hope and confidence. I mean, really, what more can we say? It's great. So those are my 3 verses. So now that I've given you the verses, I'm going to tell you how I dealt with confidence and self-esteem and how I overcame it. So self-esteem and confidence was something that I struggled with throughout my junior high school years, middle school. And it was really tough because I felt like I didn't look like the people that I was around. And, I had, shorter hair. I thought my nose was big. I had, I always thought my freckles were cute, I guess. But other people didn't have them. So I'm like, well, what is this, right? And of course I had eczema. And I guess I didn't like me, I guess you could say. And I struggle with confidence and self-esteem and dealing with that. And when you have that low confidence and low self-esteem, it's really hard to not give into peer pressure because you don't know who you are. And if you don't know who you are, then you would give in to almost anything. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't have a backbone pretty much. And you just want to do what everybody else is doing, or you want to, you just want to be like somebody else. Not saying that I just wasn't me at all, because I was me at the end of the day, and I was raised right, so I knew what was right and what was wrong at some point, but at the same time, as far as looks, I would always compare myself to somebody else. And it may have not even been, my friends or whoever I was around. Being a young girl, especially in this society, oftentimes you see the girls on TV, or you see the girls in the music videos and the magazines and all of that, or in the entertainment industry, and you compare yourself to that, when really nobody is the same as somebody. You know what I'm saying? God made us all uniquely a certain way, and He made us the way that He wanted us to be. So regardless of you comparing yourself to somebody else, you will never be that person, because you are special and you are unique, right? So, having that backbone and knowing who you are as a person and having that confidence, knowing that you are able to do it and that you're fine the way you are. You're pretty, you're beautiful, you're smart, you're handsome, you're this, you're that. Knowing that what people say to you, it won't even affect you at all because you know who you are. You know what I'm saying? So just remember that and keep that in the back of your mind. And so what I did to gain that better confidence and better self-esteem, I would, one, stop comparing myself to other people, because for what? I'm me, they're them, we're separate, you know? And I would understand that I'm perfect the way I am and that God made me this way, so let me stop trying to be like this person. And I stopped caring what people think. Oh my gosh. Caring what people think, it doesn't even go just for self-esteem. It goes for everything. If you care what people think, you care what people say, you care what people do, it affects you. Caring what somebody thinks about you, it will mess up your head so bad it doesn't even make sense. Like, who cares? Who are they to say that you look like this or you do this? Letting people affect your mood. Same thing. Who are they to steal your joy? Okay, so I'm back. I got cut off again. Every time I record, I get cut off for some reason. Like, am I talking too much or what? So let's flip this back down because I have a hard time of not looking at myself, right? Confidence. So, where was I at? Oh, who cares what people think, right? Who cares? So, just stop caring what people think. Do you. You're fine. You're beautiful. You're handsome. And that's that, right? So here's a couple tips, and then after my tips, we're going to do our closing verse, and then that concludes part 1. So my tips for the week. It's kind of like homework, okay? 3 tips. Tip 1, list 10 things you love about yourself. Not like, love. And, you know, I used to struggle with this. I used to have a hard time really talking about myself. And me and my cousin, we actually talked about this. Like, if somebody was to act like, okay, this is crazy, right? I can talk about somebody and the good things in somebody else. I can go on and on. I can talk about my parents, the good things in them, my sister, whomever. I could talk for a long time about them, right? But when it comes to myself and somebody asks me, oh, Janelle, you know, what do you like about yourself? I used to. I'm getting better. Or if I say, what are my strengths? That's really hard. But actually, I took this thing. It was for school. It's called Strength Finders 2.0. And it's like this little assessment. You find all your strengths. It's really nice. But I used to have a hard time. So, you know, you may struggle with that depending on the type of person you are. But list 10 things. Okay. Number 2, take that list and write it. You can write it neat or type it, whatever. And post it somewhere where you can see it. I made this little poster and I hung it in my office and in my room at home. But I made this little sheet, and it's my purpose and my intent. It's not the 10 things I like about myself, but it's my purpose, and that is really important. And we'll talk about this. Excuse me. We'll talk about this when we talk about purpose in a couple weeks as well. So take that list, write it down, post it somewhere where you can see it, and just remind yourself. I'm beautiful. I'm strong. I'm what's the word I'm looking for? I'm a good listener. You know, things like that. And then step 3, the final, not step 3, but tip 3, the final tip, don't talk down on yourself and always speak highly of yourself. If you walk past a mirror and you see something you don't like, keep walking. Don't say it. Don't speak it into the atmosphere. You may not like your hair that day, but don't speak it. Say, oh, my hair will look better tomorrow. Or change your hair. Do something about it. Or you might have a pimple on your face. We get those. I have them all the time. So, you know, just don't talk down on yourself. Speak highly at all times. And of course, remember that you were made this way for a reason. And God, He made you this way. So that actually has to do with my closing verse. My closing verse is taken from Genesis chapter 1, verse 27. So let's go to Genesis chapter 1, verse 27. And it says here, so God created human beings in His own image. In the image of God, He created them. Male and female, He created them. Brings me back to my point. God didn't make them to be you, and He didn't make you to be them. So like I said, you were made this way for a reason. Have that confidence, have that self-esteem, and know that you're perfectly fine. Okay? So that concludes our Self-Love Saturday, part 1 of the 10-part series. And again, have that confidence and have that self-esteem. You can join me back here next Saturday. And our topic next Saturday is forgiveness. Are you ready to forgive? Forgiveness is our topic next week, so see you guys next Saturday. And remember, you are loved.